Welcome to Angela's Holistic Connection. I am with Ashley. This is part 2 of the face mapping. So, going into the heart, lungs, colon, all this area through here. So that is where a lot of breakups.
That might be why they're happening.
So is. That is a lot of breakout area. A lot of people will get stuck with acne, breaking out, anything like that through here. I see it a lot down through here. That's a huge complaint for people is the chin area.
Acne.
But I feel it, when I'm looking and utilizing this, and I'm touching the face, right? So
Yeah.
I will feel stuff. Like they're comfortable with having congestion all in through here, for example, and
Can you
it's
feel
just
it
been
tight?
there, and so they're kind of like, oh yeah, no, everything's cool, and then I'm feeling wrong, going, okay, well, you've got all this congestion through here, or like through here, I'll feel a lot of congestion and stuff in people, and so that's like the colon and the stomach, and so something's going on there,
Yeah.
It's always dairy, and people
Yeah.
will say,
Well,
oh,
it's
I
hard
don't
on
have
your
any.
digestive.
I know, and it's secretive, just like everything, all of it, like sugar and all dairy, all of that stuff is hidden in stuff. So,
Ingredients.
they'll say, "Well, I don't ever drink milk." Okay,
Right. How
well,
about
you're
that
getting it
cheese?
from somewhere.
Yeah.
Yep, yeah. So, what about sour cream and onion chips,
Yeah.
right? Or even Doritos.
Right.
Doritos have dairy, but then they also have dyes, and I mean, I learned that with Zephyr. I mean, I don't eat that stuff.
Yeah.
But I definitely learned that and then just over the years. And the lungs. The lungs is through here. A lot of breaking out happens through there, and that is like dairy will cause mucus in the lungs, and the lungs need to be dried out, or they'll be inflamed, and so then there can even be like redness and dry patches,
Can you
like right
tell
here.
when people are smokers?
I cannot tell.
No, really. Okay.
I cannot tell. I guess I shouldn't say that. I feel like some people just smoke really randomly. And then there's like definitely the diehards that have been smoking for a long time,
Yeah.
and I can kind of tell. Or then there's like the people that had smoked for years and years, but don't anymore,
Yeah.
and so the collagen in the skin will be lesser.
Oh, yeah.
Or, I remember when I first started making an arigato and I first started toying around with it and formulating things for it. And I handed a bottle of blackout to a girl at work and I said, I think this is going to work, but I don't know. She was very pustule through here. I don't want to use her name because I
Yeah.
just don't want to go there. But lots of pustules, lots of redness, lots of irritation right through here. Absolutely a smoker, you
Yeah.
know. Struggle with some other stuff, but I just handed her this. And I'm like, I think this is going to be really cool. Will you try it and let me
Yeah.
just see what it's going to do? Totally healed
No
her up.
way. Yeah.
And she also, to this day, we've been working for a long time together. She embraces the holistic connection. She has always embraced the holistic connection so much. So even though she drinks and smokes and whatever,
Yep.
she watches and listens to her body, And so she's turned around. She's done really great on a lot of different levels.
Well, I think once you connect with your
And
body like that and you listen, you really have to listen.
yeah, yeah.
Be
And then that
open-minded to
way
it.
you can be a complete advocate for yourself,
Yeah. Yep.
And that's what I'm all about. I'm all about helping people understand themselves and know that there is something else going on. And then it's up to them. It's up to them to want to do better or want to advocate for themselves or want to see what that feels like. But then there's also a ton of people that don't care. And that's okay. I'm not here for one way or the other. Like, I'm here for all of it.
Yep.
'Cause,
Information spreader or knowledge
yeah,
releaser.
yeah, awareness,
Yeah.
awareness. Yep, shedding the light. So, so that was really interesting. But then, like with the colon, moving on from that, but with the colon, which is always here, there's congestion always, or breakouts, but there's congestion. And the intestines and the lip area is intestines and stomach. And I'll get into that in a little bit. Don't let me forget that.
Okay.
But the colon just gets congested, right?
Yeah.
Like it's the biggest process area. And so that really, really shows up in people. So I always know that. So I always talk to people about doing a probiotic, a simple one, you know. PB8 is my favorite, and because it's clean and it's easy to do, and
Clean meaning like less ingredients.
yeah, like
Okay.
there's just probiotic in there, as opposed to like apple cider vinegar. I actually just had somebody the other day that I suggested probiotic to, and she was having breakouts and redness and irritation, and she said, "Well, I do a probiotic." I'm like, "Really?" I go, "Well, what's in it?" You
Yeah.
know? And luckily she knew. Most people don't read a label, right?
Yeah.
And they don't know. They just take it. And I have to read a label,
Same.
right? Because I've
Yeah.
got sensitivities and whatever. You just have to do it. And so she did know that there was apple cider vinegar in there. Well, that is a fermented revving up situation. And that is such a fad. Such a fad. And
I-
it's so hard on people. Same with kombucha.
I just saw
Kombucha.
something.
Oh my God.
That was, it got me. I'm not gonna lie. I was
Yep.
like,
Yep.
oh gosh, this sounds so good to be true, but should ask. But it was lemon juice. I feel like this was like the Beyonce something or another, but
Yeah.
lemon juice and apple cider vinegar with turmeric and something else.
Maple syrup, maybe?
Yes, that was also in there.
Yeah, because that gives energy when you're trying to do a cleanse. Was it like a
Yeah.
cleansing thing? Kind of? Or,
An anti-inflammatory
Okay.
is how they were spinning it.
yeah.
But then, add the black pepper to activate. Didn't know that. I'm like, okay, interesting, but I almost want to try it. But the apple cider vinegar just
Made
so
you sick.
harsh. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't want to do it.
Yeah. I can't. I flare. I break out into hives if I get apple cider vinegar. So sometimes that makes me feel bad because it seems like it's really great for you.
Well,
and
then-
people have really good results from it.
Yep.
But I always am telling people, okay, if you're going to try and do something like that, do it a little bit.
Right. Don't
Like
just dive
once a
in.
week, maybe even.
Yeah.
But not every day.
Yep.
That's so bad. That's so bad. Because then your system's just completely revved up and you don't know what to do. You know, and you're just overdoing it. You're making yourself sick in a different way, breaking down your system, running your organs harder than they need to run. I don't want to talk over you, but like I want to just say
Yeah.
that when the kombucha fad started, I was trying it myself once
Yeah.
in a while. I was trying it and I thought it was really interesting and I liked it. And, it had flavors and whatever. Well, then I realized it was from a mushroom source and that it was really fermented and it made me
Yes.
sick, of course. So I didn't do it anymore. But everybody was doing it and it was every day. People were doing it every day. They're coming into me. I'm having people regularly coming into me with redness and irritation, like chapped cheeks and areas all through the heart area. So there you go, and I'm going, okay, what are you doing? You
Yeah.
know? Well, I have kombucha every single day. Stop. You got to stop and do it once a week.
Yep.
Do it once a week. Like
System
I think
overload.
it's okay to do it, but do it once a week. Yeah, and it completely changed stuff. But it was so amazing, the fad thing. Like people get on these fads, and man,
All the time.
Yep. And it's a freaking roller coaster for your body. It's just not cool. I think that it's really important and really good for people to understand that, whether it's keto or whatever, being gluten free or being dairy free or both, or going vegan, none of that is good for you on a regular basis.
Yep.
And people call it cheat days. Oh, I have a cheat day or whatever. Some people can't. I can't do that. I can't do any fad stuff. I have
No.
allergies to stuff, and I can't touch them no matter what. I'm gluten free because it makes my joints and stuff feel better. It makes my eczema better. I'm dairy free. I do mozzarella because it's easily processed by the body, but I don't do like the fad thing.
But here's the thing. Everybody is different. And
Exactly.
everybody will have a different result.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work the same for everybody.
No. And even like raw foods. Raw foods was a big one too. Raw foods is not good either. Your body can't process.
I cannot eat raw
And
vegetables.
some people have done just all raw for a year, and then, they're having problems,
Yep.
And then when you try to add something into your body, you get sick from it then.
Yep.
And that's not normal either. You got to find that happy medium and understand. Like I'll do keto products, like what is it? The Catalina Crunch, like cereal or whatever, which is like $11 a bag right now. So I'm not doing it. Like I refuse to pay that.
Yeah.
But it is a nice source of protein and the ingredients are pretty clean.
Yeah.
But I've never done like the full on keto diet. I know people have done it and they really like it, and that's cool.
Yeah.
But that should just be teaching you how to have self-discipline and how to understand that your body feels better when you're not ingesting all of this sugar and, pesticides and processed stuff.
Well, that's since, celiac cannot go out to eat anywhere because it's just, you have no idea what they're putting into it, what it's touched. It's not worth it. I hate it. I want a cheeseburger and fries so bad, but everything is deep fried together, or there's cross contamination everywhere, and it's not worth it.
Yeah, I know.
Once your body gets the good stuff, then you throw them some garbage. It's not happy.
I know. Wouldn't it just be great if everything was just easy?
Where's the easy button on this one?
I know. If
we
you
need
didn't have to, like if you didn't.
But I think the hardest part is figuring it out and figuring out where it's coming from and why you're getting sick, or what did I eat So, I mean, it's definitely paying attention to what's going in your body, on your body. You always say the skin is the largest organ. The
largest organ, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and, by sick, it's not just the topical.
Right.
Right? It's not just I have acne, or I have rosacea, or I have, super dry skin, or I have super oily skin, which isn't even a skin type, by the way. There's no such thing as oily skin type, and everybody is embracing oily skin. There's products for it, and I'm going, oh my God.
Explain that.
For 20 years, people. There should not be an oily skin type product. Okay, so that is... there's dry, there's dehydration, and there's acne, and there's sensitive, but they all are basically the same. And in homeopathic philosophy, like cures like. So if you have an oily skin type, I treat the skin with oil, food grade oil. Not coconut oil, because it's too drying for the skin. I see that a lot.
I remember
it's great
meeting
for the
you.
hair, but not... Okay, yeah.
I remember meeting you, and this came up, and I was flabbergasted. Why put oil on when I already have so much?
Yep. And I get that all the time still to this day. I mean, that was what? A
14,
decade, over
yeah.
a decade ago.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's hard to understand, but it's got to do with the molecular structure. The molecular structure of certain oils is very, very tiny, and others it's very big. So like vitamin E or coconut oil, those are big molecular structured oils that just sit there. They can't penetrate. So they're going to not do anything, And then there's like pumpkin oil and some of the essential oils, not all of them together, like one or two. In arigato skincare, essential oil is not used for fragrance, it's used for medicinal properties and because it will absorb. And there's one or two in each ingredient, not 10.
Right.
Because then that's toxic,
Yep.
But so that will go onto the skin, an oily skin, and it will balance it. It's like feeding your skin, and the skin loves it, and it starts functioning on a normal level, which a normal level is what we have been talking about. You will break out and you will heal instantly.
Yep.
You're not stuck with it. That's what a normal skin function is. It's not that you're flawless.
Right.
No
one's flawless.
It's like, no. It's that you are healthy. Your skin's releasing a toxin and then it's recovering. Your skin tissue can repair. And so that's super, super important. It's really hard. It's been really super hard for me as a holistic esthetician, and especially somebody who's suffered allergies and then got cancer. I was the last person on earth anyone thought would get cancer.
Right.
But I recovered.
Yeah.
Because I function really normally, and that happens. And, even with allergies, I'll have hives or itching or cracks or whatever. Or hyperventilation even. If it's garlic, I hyperventilate, and so,
it's not
but
funny.
I recover really well.
It's not funny.
So ridiculous though. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it. It's been my entire life. I just can't. I always am struggling. But I'm better and better all the time because I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly paying attention. I know how to read a label. I have to read it on everything.
Yep.
And I treat my body with philosophy, like, okay, like cures like.
Yep.
And I'm saying the word cure, but I'm not saying that anything can be cured, just so we're clear.
Yes.
Like, that is a philosophy. You can look it up. But definitely holistic connection.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, aware of your body. If you get sick, and this is why we are here talking about this stuff, because you will get sick. And if you get sick, you need to recover.
Yes.
And you will recover if you are not inundated with all of this toxic stuff, And there's simple ways. Sometimes you have to use medicine, like Western medicine. And most of the time, you can get away with it with just food. Good food and no product. I'm like, let's try that one on for size. Like, another major breaking out area is the hairline, right? Well, if people are using tons of synthetic products on their hair, which they are, you're going to break out. And I can easily tell if it's internal or external or both.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's external in certain areas.
Right.
Right.
Some things
even
you just don't
skin
think about.
cancers. Right. So let's talk about that. Skin cancers with the generations, especially older generations have, discolored skin cancer in areas like the nose or the ears,
forehead.
Or the forehead where synthetic products were going and spraying perfume and then or putting on tons of makeup, and then they go and they sit outside
Yeah.
right? And so now all of a sudden the sun's getting a bad rap because they're all loaded with chemicals and cooking it into their skin. And what do you think is going to happen? Like, you're going to get sick.
Yep.
You're going to discolor. And if you are healthy and using good products, you can actually recover from that very easily without toxic products. You will recover. But these older generations aren't recovering very well,
No.
you know. But I have seen that a lot, and so yeah, I hate skincare. Skincare. I do hate skincare. I really do. I do. There's too much of it, and it's too toxic, and it's gross. But we're talking about, you know, simple, like, for example, people. I've seen this forever. People that use 1 or 2 things on their skin have really good skin, and people that use 7 things or more on their skin do not.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
Because I am not one of those people.
That does a bunch of stuff?
No.
Oh,
I don't
I
have
can't
my
imagine.
skincare routine.
Yeah.
My 9-step,
Yeah.
all my different
Yeah.
bottles. No, at all. And then people tease me. They're like, you never get zits. You never. It's like, because I don't wear makeup. I don't do a skincare. Nothing goes on it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I know. Yep. I don't wear makeup either. I can't imagine, you know.
but it's not a bad thing. I get it. People do it. It's fine.
Yeah. It's fine, yeah. But it's
Just know what it's
definitely
doing.
something you should be doing less of, yeah. Well, and then just aging in general too, and everybody's trying to like not age.
Yeah.
I would say that it is definitely, I mean, I'm seeing 50 really soon, and it's definitely been kind of a struggle just because of being in the industry.
Yep.
And everybody's against it, and everybody's trying to fight it, and I actually am not. Like, I have lines and wrinkles. I call them expression lines because I've been laughing
Yeah, that's
my
my laugh
ass
lines.
off for my whole life. Yeah, or just like going like this, like, what in the hell is the matter with you, right?
Got stuck
Like,
with the what the fuck face.
if I didn't have that, I feel like nobody would take me seriously.
Yeah.
You know? And I just don't think that it's attractive
But when people
to
are
not to look like a doll, a plastic doll. But I don't know. But and people
J-Lo
do. And,
is everywhere.
yeah.
And she's 50, and now that's our standard. No. This is
Yeah.
what you look like at 50.
Yeah.
No.
No, this is what you look like at 50.
No.
This is what you should look like at 50.
I'm reminding you about the lips.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yes, the lips. So yeah, let's touch that really quick because the lips are an area that are very prone to dryness and very prone to irritation. And the top lip represents the stomach, and the lower lip represents the intestines. So if people have chronic dry lips, they always run for a chapstick, which is completely synthetic. And, you know, they say it's addictive, but really it just isn't working.
Right.
And you have to go internally for that. Sometimes it can be weather.
Yeah.
It can be
or winters.
sun or whatever. But if it's sun, did you put something on it? You know? And then internally, it's a probiotic's going to help. Watching gluten's going to help. Gluten, if that's an irritation for you, that's wheat, and that can be very irritating. That shows a lot of redness in that area. I always see that a lot. I see a lot of redness, and I see a lot of chapped skin. So probiotic helps clear that out. Dairy, of course. And then maybe even pesticides. You know, pesticides are in a lot of our food these days. Sugar, of course, yes. Sugar is not good for anybody. That will rev up the system ultimately and definitely be a cause of cancer. But so really quickly, let's get into the new EWG list that just came out.
Oh, exciting.
The EWG list, it's ewg.org, and I would encourage people to try and look into that. That is the Environmental Workers Group. I have been following this organization for decades, and they have Skin Deep, a Skin Deep, like, I don't know what it's called. Like not segment, but like
Category?
section. I don't know.
Sure.
A section on their website called Skin Deep, which is cool because whatever products that you think that you're using that are good, you can go there and check them out, and it will have them rated from 1 to 10. So like 1 is really good and 10 is really bad.
I know.
So back in the day, we would check it out, and like a lot of Aveda stuff would be like a 9.
Of course.
Because it was toxic because of
Some of the ingredients.
because of the ingredients, but also because of the essential oil amount.
Oh.
You know?
Well, I know we did sunscreen.
Yes.
It's a big one right now.
Oh, sunscreen's horrible.
So they
it's horrible
have
for you. Yeah.
some different options.
Yeah. I use Rased oil, by the way, and I have had to do chemo and stuff, and because I don't do any synthetics at all, I respond really well by just using Rased oil. Some people might not be able to get away with that because that's a pretty low SPF. It's not even a rated SPF, but it works. Like Zeph and I both use that. You use that.
Yep.
Some of the girls at work do that. Even rum skin. Like,
I
we'll
do
go into
rum
the sun.
skin.
Yeah, we'll go in the sun and do rum skin. But there's pumpkin oil in it, and there's
Yep.
zinc naturally occurring in that, so you're gonna get protection.
Yeah.
And if you're healthy, it's fine. Other ones that are good though, more blocking, like going into Florida, for example. Like if we go down there, we use Wax Head, which you can find on Amazon. Okay. That one's great for the coral reef even. And then also Badger I've used in the past, unscented. And then also California Baby I really liked. But California Baby I actually was allergic to because they use calendula extract in there. Jesus. Okay, so let's run through a couple of their Dirty Dozen list. So the Dirty Dozen list they launch every year, I think. And I actually hadn't looked at it for a long time. Apples used to be the #1 fruit with the most pesticides on it.
For a while.
For a long time, yep.
Yeah.
So that would mean like apple juice that's not organic. Anything that's not organic you would absolutely want to do, like not have. Or make sure it's organic. So now #1 is strawberries.
Sad.
Yeah. So you have to do these organic. Yeah. Which sucks. I mean, I don't really eat strawberries very much, but they're so expensive. Yeah. Everything's so expensive right now. So I just don't even eat them at all. Because, I save myself for the wild blueberries.
Sure.
Because they're more healing for me right now. Because, yeah. And that's just good for anybody. The wild blueberries are super great for the liver. I actually will get into that when I talk about my whole entire cancer story. Because there's a lot that I learned from that. Okay, so #2 on the list is spinach. So that's in a lot of salads. If you go out or whatever, spinach is just everywhere. All over the place. So unless it's organic, it's got a lot of pesticides on it right now. Yep.
People are doing their smoothies or shakes.
I am lucky because I can't have spinach because it has histamines in it.
Yep.
And it revs up the system. So I've been staying away from spinach.
Yep.
Spinach for you.
No spinach for you.
Yeah. Okay, then this was kind of surprising to me. Kale used to always be pretty good for you as far as pesticides, and now it's #3. Kale, collard, and mustard greens are #3 of having a lot of pesticides. Probably because a lot of people are starting to eat them and they need to make more.
Now they need to mass produce.
Good God. So if you're doing homegrown or getting homegrown, you're okay. Sure. Yep. Or if it's organic.
Yep.
Peaches is #4. I don't like peaches. But...
Love them.
Okay.
Probably not if you're in, like Georgia, you got a peach tree.
Yeah. Yep. They probably
good.
You're okay unless you're putting Roundup on it.
Oh.
Yeah. Right. Oh my gosh. Okay, #5 would be pears. 6 nectarines, 7 is apples. So apples 7 on the list. Grapes is number 8. So grapes to me is really interesting because that is a wine.
Yeah.
And so wine not only has sulfites, which is hard for people, but it also is covered in pesticides. And
dirty.
so if you're not getting that organic, which it's pretty hard to get organic wine. I don't
Well,
know. I haven't drank for 13 years, but
yeah.
it wasn't easy back in that day
I doubt
and
it.
age. Yeah.
Some
Probably not.
celebrity might have a.
Although I do know of somebody that does get organic wines because one of the girls that I work with was making fun of her. I was like, "What kind of wine are you drinking?" And she was like, "It's organic and natural, and I don't know what it is." And it was it was at AJ's house, and she's totally into everything.
Yeah.
You know, which is great. It's
good.
Yeah, it is. But so yeah, that was pretty funny. And so I would do NA champagne, and I'd always get sick. I'd always get a headache.
Yep.
And it's not alcohol, but definitely pesticides then, and the sulfites too. But I would do it because I like to hang out and I like to party and drink, even though I don't drink. And so I will do NA stuff. Every once in a while I'll do Bush NA with Zephyr. That was kind of my dad's drink of choice. But that's gluten.
Yeah,
you know?
no.
And
yeah.
unfortunately, here in America, you cannot get a gluten-free NA beer.
No.
You can if you're in London. I know that because I saw one online one time and I wanted it and
Nice.
I couldn't get it. Okay, so then number 9, bell peppers. That sucks. Number 10 is cherries. And number 11 is blueberries. And so let's wrap that up right there.
Okay. It's a good one.
Yeah.
And you can subscribe. Definitely, if you're listening to just the audio, come over to the website. Go to YouTube. You can see the video. Leave us questions, comments, and we'll try to answer them for you.
Yes. And all of this, I'm trying to keep super short episodes with all this information so it's easy for people to be able to come back to or find the info. But many different things like this is always going to be covered throughout every single episode. So thank you.
Come on back. We'll see you next time.